What do you see as the biggest challenge when it comes to cutting emissions from the transport industry?
Yeah, first, let me say Europe is already the best in reducing CO2 emission in transport. We have the largest CO2 footprint in transport, and it's due to technology, good technology for cars, for trucks, for fuels, but also high tax. And so we are starting from a very good base. I think the biggest challenge for the future would be to keep the energy efficiency in the engines, in transportation in general. That's the first thing that you do very cost effectively. The second thing would be for the European Commission to set up a policy framework which basically reduce the cost of reducing CO2. So CO2 costs in transport should be equivalent to the CO2 cost in the other industry sector. That's the first thing I think to do. It is very...
Now, let's talk very briefly about what the European Commission is announcing. They just announced this morning the white paper. Of course, there are priorities in there. What kind of reaction can you give to what the Commission has outlined as priorities so far?
Well, I mean, the vision that the European Commission has is 2050. 2050 is very far ahead, so you cannot predict, and there is no single bullet. So what they are proposing is a true analysis, well to wheel, and the step that I have seen, we haven't seen the final paper, are interesting in the sense that they want cost-effective measures to help the CO2 in transport to reduce, and they want also to preserve the competitiveness of the industry, which I think is very important. What is dangerous is actually a unilateral move by the European Commission, which would put his industry, cars, trucks and technology at stake versus competitors worldwide.
Would it be fair to say that you prefer, as Exxon Mobil, a mix of different types of solutions, bringing all together to achieve the goals, instead of a focus on one single technology that could achieve these goals?
Absolutely. I think policymakers do policies, business does business, and bring technology to the market. I think that's the way we should do. There is no single solution. We should have a series of solutions. There are biofuel, there is energy efficiency, there might be electrical cars, there might be hydrogen. All those solutions are there. What counts for the consumer and for the economy is that you go with the most cost-effective solution when they are mature. So invest in research now. When the research delivers things which are cost-effective, then you bring them to the market.
Of course, Exxon Mobil is a producer of oil, largely responsible also for carbon emissions. Of course, you're looking for a solution that gives your company also a long-term viability. If you allow me to play devil's advocate, I mean, how do you see the future of Exxon Mobil in the year 2050?
Well, I think we keep doing the things we do best. We are engineers. You have to remember that oil is the highest density fuel, so this is very difficult to replace in transport. That's the highest density for heavy duty, for aviation, etc. On the other side, Exxon Mobil is working on many other things like carbon capture and sequestration. We have an algae program which has a purpose as to produce biofuel in 5 to 10 years from now. We have hydrogen production. We are working on a series of platforms which, if they become competitive, will gradually find their way to the market. I don't worry about what we can bring to the value. What I worry is we are forced to bring things which are not cost effective, because then it would be wasting the money of shareholders and citizens.
Cost effectiveness in terms of consumers and users appears to be key in your approach. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? What does it mean to be cost effective in terms of cutting carbon emissions?
Well, as a consumer, you will always decide when you have a choice what is delivering the best value for your money. I think a country or Europe as a whole must decide what is the cheapest solution to reduce CO2. They should go with the cheapest solution first, because that's the best use of money. And so our job as business is to provide the cheapest solution to reduce CO2. That's what we are there for.